"What about your wife? Where does she stand?" I asked, even though I didn't give a fuck. "My wife stays for now," he said, with remorse in his tone. I poked out my lower lip, pretending to be upset with his decision. "Don't worry, though. I'll never treat you like my mistress. I'll always treat you like number one." That was all I needed to hear. "So, why do you want this woman out of your life?" I tried my best not to get personal, but my nosiness took over, and I had questions that needed to be answered. The mayor's breath was on fire, and the scent almost melted my nose off as he continued. "This bitch has been trying to ruin my life from the beginning, and now with her getting pregnant on purpose, I know things are about to get ugly. I want her ass dead before my wife and the public finds out. She's already promised to blackmail me, and I need her stopped before it's too late." I inserted my index finger into my wet pussy, pulled it out, and rubbed it against his full lips. "How do you know that I won't ruin your life?" His smile could be seen a mile away. "Because I trust you, baby. Besides, there simply isn't enough room for the both of you, and she's the one I want out of the picture. I couldn't imagine you gone." There you go again with more bullshit, I thought. This dude must think I'm some kind of rookie. Game recognizes game, and I was a professional when it came down to this shit. I knew in the end he wouldn't give a fuck about me. It would always be about his wife. "I'm glad you chose me, Daddy," I replied, in an assuring tone. We snuggled on his beautiful white goose-down duvet at his cottage on the Biltmore estate. This was a piece of luxury that not even his rich-ass socialite wife knew about. The only part of the house that I despised was the 2-story library that held thousands of books. It was an instant memory of my bitch-ass sister, Oshyn. Ever since we were little, books had always been her first love. Long ago, I waged a war against anything she loved, and literature of any kind had now become my enemy. I'd made myself at home in Asheville a year ago, right after I left Raleigh. I needed to get out of town after all of the chaos, but I also wanted to stay as close as I could to Oshyn. My plan was to get her back for everything she'd done to me. I'd never been to Asheville before, and the mountains seemed to clear my mind. Shit, even the Unabomber, Timothy McVeigh, came here to hide, so I knew it had to be something special about the place. There wasn't any drama here, any worries, any problems, or so I thought. I was renting a cabin and down to my last $200 when I met the mayor at a restaurant downtown. I knew it was only a matter of time before he would be taking care of me, but I had no idea he would be the one to bring back my killer instincts. "You're so much prettier than the other bitch I deal with," he said, stroking my hair, "and your body is to die for." I looked at his small gray afro and smiled. I knew he was referring to my perky 36 C-cups and big round ass. "Is she white?" I asked. He seemed surprised by my question. "Why would you ask me that? Besides, what difference does it make?" "Actually, I could care less, but I'm just curious. For some reason, you look like the type of black man who would have a white girl on the side. Shit, I'm probably the closest thing to a black pussy you've ever had. You're probably tired of being with a woman with an ironing board for an ass. Well, if you must know, yes, she's white." I wasn't surprised by his comment, but I hated that I had to kill someone who sounded like a woman after my own heart. I started feeling kind of bad that I had to betray one of my fellow blackmailers. Women in this business had to stick together, but I was sure she would do the same thing if she were in my shoes. It was always business before pleasure. My thoughts were distracted by what looked like a large, deforming burn that was shaped like the boot of Italy, right on the side of his face. The miniature country which had melted away on his brown skin was too gross to ignore. I tried my best to avoid that side of his face when we got together, but it was hard not to look at. Something about his monstrous feature scared me. Reminded me of the boogeyman. Reminded me of my past. My childhood always had a way of doing that. I tried not to let it bother me much, because he was filthy. Filthy rich. I'd done my research, so I knew mayors normally didn't make tons of money, but this one did. His sleazy political deals netted him